Thank you very much for having this interview, Samuli. Would you mind starting with a short introduction to Crasman, to someone who doesn't know your company and yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. So my name is Samuli Hokkanen. I'm the CEO of Crasman. Crasman is an e-commerce agency based in Finland. We are 100 people, and we work with big customer e-commerce solutions. So with their customer experience on the front end side of things, but also on back end processes and their e-commerce tools that they have in use.
Excellent. So you've been working with Teamspective for almost 2 years now. How would you describe the history between our companies?
Well, we started cooperation in early 22, and we started with the Teamspective Pulse tool. So we wanted to see how our people were doing, how are they feeling when working, and what are the things that we excel at, and what are the areas of improvement.
And it's really important to listen to employees in order to make those kind of small adjustments.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the weekly pulse was a great tool for that.
Now, you have completed also 2 separate rounds of organizational network analysis, or ONA, as we call it. What was the kind of first thing that caught your interest?
We were starting a big organizational change during 23, and we had a chat with the Teamspective team, and you guys mentioned the organizational network analysis, and it immediately caught my ear and sounded very interesting, as it was a tool for understanding the changes going on in your organization that would otherwise be invisible for the leadership. And that's how we started the project.
Can you tell us something about the change itself? So what was the change in your organization?
Yeah, we had been organized to competence units for a very long time, and then decided that it was time for us to reorganize our operations so that they were organized around the customers, and decided to form 3 separate business units for that.
So from the customer's perspective, what are the steps in an ONA project?
Well, first we had a couple of workshops with the Teamspective guys. We got introduced to the tool itself, and had a meeting with the leadership team, and you guys explained to us that how does it work, how do you collect the data, and some upper level details about the ONA itself. And when we felt that we understood the process and the tool enough, then we had a short introductory call with all our employees, and then we started to gather the data. It was really easy from our perspective, so everything went smoothly, and then you guys made the actual analysis, so not much work for us.
Yeah, and then we finished by having that executive team workshop to review some of the findings.
Yes.
Was there something that really surprised you in the findings, or something you learned and didn't expect? And also, I'm eager to hear kind of what you did after that workshop.
Yeah, well, we had the first round of analysis before we started the change, so that was kind of like documenting the current organization. And well, what surprised me was that it was surprisingly detailed from my perspective. So it showed some nuances that I could guess that these probably exist, but I didn't believe that the tool itself could kind of like dig out the data for those. That was a surprise.
So it's a really accurate picture of the organization.
Yes, yeah, in detail, and also showed on individual level very interesting data that we saw that, okay, this individual has great influence on the organization, but also great demand, and maybe we should discuss the workload at some point and things like that. So yeah, even the first round was very interesting in that sense, and made us make some concrete changes to I would say maybe resourcing and workload issues. the business unit directors from the analysis found out kind of like how much they can support the whole business unit versus the individual teams in the unit, and how much support do the individual teams need at that point, and also saw that how much of the old organizational structure was visible still in our daily work and connections.
What kind of feedback did you get from the business unit directors after the executive team workshop?
Yeah, they felt that well, the process itself felt easy for them. They told me that the analysis helped them to kind of like have an overall picture of their own unit and the possible bottlenecks there, and also help them to kind of like direct and provide leadership on an individual level. They saw that who are the individuals who had great demand in their teams, and help them manage that as well.
So going forward, do you think that you're going to do a third O&A project sometime soon?
Yeah, most likely, I think so. That we're still in the middle of the organizational change. So even though we've made the big changes, it takes time for people and culture to adjust. And I would think that during the latter half of this year, we will most probably have a third round of O&A, and kind of like see that what is the progress that we have made during 24.
We've talked briefly about the kind of self-service O&A also, in which we would be using your passive data sources like Slack, Jira, calendars, and kind of build a real-time map of the organization. So what kind of expectations do you have for this kind of tool, and do you think it's realistic to have a fully self-service O&A solution at Crasman?
Yeah, a self-serviced version of O&A is really interesting thought. I was already surprised by the details of the current O&A version, so I would guess that more data means even more detailed results. So that's a really interesting approach. Gathering the data, I think, at least for us, Slack would be a great source, because that's our main communications tool for the teams. Also Jira, as that's the tool that we use for directing our client work. So
excellent. Really looking forward to the next iterations, and thank you very much for the interview.
Yeah, great. Thanks.